Lil Woadie. I mean, I don't know who he is. I just heard his name, saw his picture, and apparently he is a rapper of 16 years old. Um, but the story is going to get quite convoluted here in a second, and I want you all to put your thinking caps on just for a second to tell me, let me know, let Too Strong know if this is something illegal, two, acceptable, or three, just plain old hilarious. Okay? So, okay, Little Woadie, 16-year-old, 16, remember that number, 16, 1, 6, male rapper, was recently pictured with a female of 26 years old. And the tag says, I want to make sure I read this properly. Rapper Lil Woadie, 16, and his fiancée, 26, are going viral because of their height and age difference. With, of course, lovey hearts and rings and mine. In any case, I'm confused. Maybe it's just me, and I might be just unaware of laws from state to state. He's 16 and she's 26. Normally, in that situation, it'd be called, there was a word for that, child abuse. Along that line, how is this not registering as that? How are there no how are they feeling so comfortable coming forward and saying, this is my fiance and he's 16, I'm 26, I've lived a little bit more life than he has, and the only thing you can ask is age and height? You're not, hear me out, you're not concerned about legality, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. No? Oh, okay. Okay, some of you might have the rebuttal that, oh, it's not true, it's only a joke, it's a publicity stunt. Let's go along that line for just a brief second. What in your mind makes you think that this is a good publicity stunt? Hey, hear me out. You have one aspect of it where a woman is going to be looked at as a pedophile, and one kid is going to be looked at as abuse. How is this a positive for anyone involved in this? Please, I would just love to hear. We're not even going to talk about whether or not they can get in trouble for lying to the public. Let's not even get into that. We talking about one very important thing. How, Sway, are you okay with that? Let's reverse the roles, shall we? And I mean the gender roles. Let's back this up real quick. Let's put a grown man of 26 saying he's engaged to a woman of 16. And they take photos together of him dipping down and kissing her on the cheek. And he's holding her in his arms like he would his wife. How then would social media react to it? Oh, you wouldn't see the end of it. Oh, he'd be ostracized, probably by now in jail. But this one, acceptable. You know why? It's far-reaching past pedophilia. Let's look past that for just 1 second. It's bigger than that. And you might think, what's bigger than pedophilia? This is what we would like to call the emasculation factor from a very young age. That child isn't going to grow up to be a man. He's going to be growing up to be something else, but definitely not a man. This is scar tissue that's going to build up for him to resent his manhood. But it's also going to make other boys wish to do the same and end up in the same result. This is far-reaching past pedophilia. Pedophilia is actually now become, believe it or not, the gateway to this. This is the gateway. Because the women aren't going to get in trouble for doing that, because with them, it's not abuse. And it's not wrong. It's just preference. Guy does it, it is wrong, jail time or death. Why? Because you have to remove the man. Point blank, period. And they've just successfully done that in the eyes of the public. However, there are people fighting it. There are some in the comments that are just like, how y'all not in jail? How is she still walking free? What is going on with this? She needs to be in jail, under the jail, call CPS. Where are his guardians? Very valid questions. Unfortunately for us, we will not get those answers because nothing will become of this. Publicity stunt or real, there will be no consequences for her or him. There'll be no protections either for him. In fact, I would dare say this will be the first of many instances like this in his life, until one day he pops up looking like Jaden Smith. Everybody's wondering, what happened to Lil Woadie? Well, Lil Woadie became something completely other under your own auspices. This has become a pandemic now. And unfortunately, parents aren't even stepping in to save their kids, which is their first and primary function, which is weird to me that you're abusing the one thing that was left in your charge by thinking you're doing it some good. The more parents act like the one in this story, the more damage we're going to do to future generations. We keep talking about it's for the kids, it's for the kids, save the kids, save the kids. This is part of it too. Look, I understand sometimes, man, let's just listen here. Man, we celebrate having the baddie. We celebrate having being able to pull a girl. And in some cases, when I was younger, this was one of those things that you look at. You got an older girl? Man. We didn't even realize the kinds of damage it did to us. But now that I'm older and I look back at fellas that either did indulge in it or thought about it to the extent of wanting to be indulged in it, their lives now, it's off the rails. I don't think I can think of even two that have made it successful. Why? Because it is damaging to a child's psyche. They haven't even had time to develop around their own way of thinking, much less around someone else that's an adult. And this is being trafficked and pushed in music, in videos, and now on Instagram as trends. Please, parents, you were given a charge to protect your child. You are over their protection. Possibly start acting like it. A person that is a bodyguard doesn't just allow anybody to willy-nilly walk up to their client and put their hands all over them. The first thing you do is you say, hey, whoa, 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 where you going? I'm going to inspect you to make sure you're not here to destroy or damage what I'm protecting. Why aren't parents like bouncers now? That is our job. Lil Woadie and his people may not see the dangers of it yet, but by the time they do, it'll be too late. He would have already gone down a path that will be almost impossible for him to come back from, one, either because of scarring, or two, because of choice. At 16, he should have been protected by his parents, and at 16, he was not. At 26, this woman should know better, but at 26, she doesn't. And if it is a publicity stunt, at whatever age the producers are at, they should have known better, and they didn't. In no one of their situations do they get a pass. All are guilty of something very heinous. And by the end of this, only people that will suffer the consequences is the next generation.